MacVoices is supported by ATTO. For over 30 years, ATTO Technology has been a global leader across the IT and media and entertainment markets, specializing in storage and network connectivity and infrastructure solutions for the most data-intensive computing environments. ATTO works with partners to deliver high-end solutions to better store, manage, and deliver data. Find out more at atto.com. Hi, I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices in San Jose for AltConf and WWDC. Folks, I finally got Anna Crook to come out and talk to us. She's been running around crazy because she is the chief organizer of AltConf, but she's going to give us a few minutes. Anna, it's great to see you.
And you, thanks for videoing.
You don't look nearly as tired as I feel.
I definitely feel tired, but I feel like maybe I'm just covering it well this morning, back for the third day and just kind of ready for another couple of days at it.
Yeah. Well, I remember last year, I think we caught you about the same time, but at the end of this day, and I think the voice was almost gone. So this time I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm getting there. I think I'm covering it well for now.
And first of all, this year's been a raging success already, and really you are only halfway through. You've added a few things this year. You've expanded things. The one thing I know that was very much new is the escape room. What prompted the escape room?
I think the guy Chadwick, who's organising it for us, approached us about it and just said, look, AltConf will be a great fit for escape rooms. It's a fun, fast-paced 15-minute escape room. Actually, it's based on team building. Eight people can go in to escape and to effectively save the keynote. And actually, there's collaboration there. And like AltConf and WWDC are all about like meeting new community members and kind of sharing the week and enjoying it. And escape room is like another way of doing it, basically.
It was kind of a surprise, but for all the reasons you just said, it's like, it really is a good fit. And if you don't have your own team, you can put together a team here just by walking down the hallway.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, that's it. The whole week, everyone's asking about meeting new people. How do I get in touch with so-and-so? Well, that's another way. Just sign up and join in like any of the activities.
Yeah, we ended up getting a group together for dinner last night that I think only a couple of us knew each other before last night. But it's like, let's go get something to eat. And it was fun because you never know where the conversations are going to go.
Yeah, exactly. And same for me. Like, as one of the organizers, I meet loads and loads of people throughout the week from different backgrounds, different places. People are coming from far, and it's just a week to connect with people. And it doesn't actually even limit what you're talking about. Like, it isn't all tech. It's often it's about where to go and eat or what are we doing tonight or whatever. It could be anything.
Yeah. Every year I bring this up because this organization fascinates me. You are totally staffed with volunteers to make this thing happen. How do you do that?
With very little sleep and a lot of determination. No, in all honesty, it's there's a core group of organisers and then obviously some volunteers that help throughout the week, and it makes it challenging with different time zones and whatever, but we get the appreciation from people, and actually knowing that people at the end are going to have a great week and we can help with some of that, it just makes it worth doing, right? Like, there's kind of reward for what we're doing in that.
Well, and the thing I also noticed is that a lot of the volunteers keep coming back year after year, so they must be having a good time doing it. Yeah,
exactly. I can think of a handful of them that have volunteered, at least for me, for the past 3 years. And they're all really just fantastic people that just want to come and give back. And a lot of our volunteering roles mean you can sit in on the sessions anyway, right? So, they get to see the talks, but also they're helping set it up and make sure it runs smoothly.
So last year you started expanding AltConf. You had here in San Jose, but you also had sessions in London.
Yeah.
This year you've spread it out even more. So are you the organizer for all that as well?
I help, but in each of those cities, so in London, Paris, Madrid and Berlin, we have an organizer who's a member of the community, like the local community there. And we really find that helps give the steer. So for our AltConf Madrid conference, and that was all in Spanish, whereas with Berlin, London and Paris, they were all in English. So that local knowledge and local community member can kind of help steer it and make sure it's relevant to the community there. Yeah.
Now, the conference sessions, you mentioned the volunteers get to sit in, but I'm not quite sure who decides on the conference sessions here, and now that you've expanded, how are you making those decisions elsewhere? Are there local organizers that are going through the submissions and picking the ones, or are you doing it all from one central location?
So we do it split across each thing. So for we accept submissions across all for a call for speakers, and then each event takes their responses and they're anonymously reviewed and then selected. So they're reviewed by separate sections. So the panel, like the Paris people chose the Paris ones, the London here, a San Jose one. So yeah.
I mean, that gives up a little bit of control, but it also probably makes a lot more sense because then you get the topics that are relevant to that geographic location, if there is such a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It applies a local steer to it, and it makes sure we're being relevant and appropriate for the different locations. Yeah.
Now, I hope you don't mind me saying this, but last year you were living in Australia. This year now you've moved to the U.S. Does it make it easier to deal with the whole organizing thing?
Some things, yes. Definitely not having to fly over and deal with the jet lag makes life a lot easier. But some other things are still, hard. And we were shipping some of the stuff from here over to Europe this year, and that definitely added a little bit of a curveball. So, different challenges for sure.
Yeah, I admit I hadn't even thought about that fact that you do have branding and all that, and you want to be consistent, and so you had to coordinate that with all these other locations.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we want the AltConf name to be known as the same thing because we put these events on in Europe because we know everyone can't come to San Jose, but we equally appreciate that maybe someone that's gone to the London conference this year might get a ticket over here next year. So we just want to make sure that experience and everything is consistent as consistent as we can, really.
Well, I've been watching Twitter and watching the hashtags for AltConf Berlin, AltConf Paris, and it looks like it was just a huge success.
Yeah. Sort
of as I would have expected with you all in charge.
Yeah, it's gone down really well in each of the cities. For the cities, it's the first year. We'll look at them. We always want to try and make things better, but we've had some really positive feedback so far, so we're really excited about them.
That's great. So looking ahead to next year, and I know that's really bad to do when this one's not over, but thinking ahead, how early do you look for calls for papers or speakers, and how early do you look for calls for volunteers? How do people maybe come and do that next year, either one or the other?
So we normally start looking at it around March, generally because that's when Apple announces WWDC, so we know the dates, and we've got real kind of out there public knowledge of when it's happening, where it's happening. So really around there. But we know people start thinking about it before. So, prepare. The criteria we ask for each year is the same. So, people can have that ready to go as soon as the call for papers opens. We're good to go. Yeah. And
the best thing to do is just watch the AltConf website.
Yeah, absolutely, and Twitter. So, so following us on Twitter is a very good way to get the latest updates.
Perfect. Anna, thanks so much. I know you got plenty to do, but we really appreciate it. And thank you for everything you do for making all this possible, because I wouldn't get to talk to some of these amazing people without what you do. So thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
We'll do it again next year?
Yeah.
All right, sounds good.
Thanks.
Folks, I'm Chuck Joyner. We'll have more from San Jose and AltConf and WWDC. Thanks for watching. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. you will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CacheFly at cachefly.com.